The sun's out, but I'm going to break from the rain today, so I'm heading up to Cadair Idris and I'm going to be walking into the Llyn Cau. I'm planning on camping next to a beautiful glacial lake. It's a beautiful walk and it's a good climb, so let's get it done. What a glorious day. It's so nice to have the sun out. When I was back at the car getting my kit ready, I witnessed the most awesome air display. I was a bit too slow to capture on camera though. About 9 or 10 fighter jets flew overhead. As some of you will know, some of these valleys are used by the military for low-level training. And this walk up here, the Llyn Cau and Cadair Idris, is probably my favourite mountains in Wales. And this route up is absolutely stunning. Just take a look at these views. Just take a look at that. What a feast for the eyes. If it was raining now, all of this would look bleak and depressing, but with the sun shining on there, it really ignites those colours on the mountains. Look at this old stone building. I'm wondering if it may be an old farmhouse. There's another one just over there. But just take a look at the size of these stones or boulders if you used to build it. Don't know what that would have been. Maybe some type of shelving or a little storage area. There's no signs of a chimney here. Take a look at the size of this. I'm guessing that was already there and they've built around it. And over here we've got some sort of doorway. I've walked this route countless times. It's a great climb. It can get busier on the weekends. It's a Monday today and it's nice and peaceful. I've only passed a handful of people and I'm just approaching the glacial lake where I'm planning to camp. This is it, Llyn Cau, a beautiful glacial lake that's surrounded by these rather impressive mountains. I was thinking of pushing on to the summit, but the sun sets at 4:30 and I may be leaving myself short of time. It's a little early to set up yet, so I'm just going to chill out here for an hour, kill some time. I've got a nice little spot there. That's where I'm going to pitch a tent. And this really is a room with a view. Some of you may have seen my video a short while back. I was setting up my new Terra tent and a pole snapped right there when I was fitting it for the sleeve. I did a quick fix there and then, and some of you were asking about that fix. So I always carry 2 of these with me. These are pole repair splints or pole repair sleeves. A quick internet search, you can buy these online. These are the ones that come with the Terra tent. You can use that end there for removing pegs from the ground. It also doubles up as a bottle opener. And that hole there, that can be used to remove these tips from the end of the pole. So I always wrap a little bit of tape around there. I'll show you why now. So let's imagine that is where the pole is snapped. You simply slide the splint across to where the pole is damaged and then use that tape. I'll tape each end to hold it in place. I've got my big Agnes in the house. I did this fix. I got my tent got smashed up in a storm one night. I did this fix there and then managed to fix the tent and it's still on it to this day, 10 years later. It's quite a handy fix until you can get a proper repair done. Another 20 or maybe 30 pitches with this tent and I will master the art of it. There we go, like I said, a room with a view. I cannot believe how peaceful it is. Everything's perfectly still. Look at that water. It's like a sheet of glass. There's no ripples on it. Only noise I can hear is a waterfall over there in the distance. I did bring my shorts with me. I was planning on going for a cold water dip, but it's absolutely freezing. I had my gloves on earlier, setting up a tent. So I think I'm going to give that a miss. And look how clear, I don't know if you can see that, look how clear our water is. It's beautiful. And it's a bit too early to put food on. So I think I may have a little snack now, sit down, crack open a can of beer and enjoy this last bit of light. That peace and quiet didn't last long. Got two women over there and some bloke with them literally running around bollock naked. And there's me saying it's too cold to go for a swim. I've just put every single layer on. It's absolutely freezing. Let's have a little bite to eat, crack a can open. I got myself a festive bake from Greg's. And I got a nice can of macho mango to sip on. This is a very impressive spot. I feel very minute looking up at those mountains. I've been here many times before. This place takes my breath away every time. It's actually my first time camping here. I've been meaning to tick this one off for years. So it's nice to be finally spending a night here. Right, let's crack this can open. So this is from Macho Mango, which is a brewery local to me in Aberdeen. I've been wanting to try this for a long time, but I keep missing Chris at the brewery. So get right to the man of the cans. He sorted me out with this one. And this is a dipper and it's 7.2%. Right, let's crack it open. That's delicious, that is. It's sweet and it is quite fruity. There's a lot of fruity flavours going on. And even though it's a strong percentage can, it's not too overpowering. It's nice and refreshing as well. Chris from Macho Mango, he hasn't been going long. He's knocking some good cans out. I'll put a link in the video description for his brewery, just in case you're local and you want to pick some up. When the pole snapped on this tent, I was being very careful setting it up with it being a new tent and everything. And it happened when I was feeding the poles for the pole sleeve there. And I was just about to insert the end of the pole into the eyelet, put hardly any pressure on it, and that's when it snapped. When it snapped, it caused a small tear in the pole sleeve chest up there. But a week prior to that happening, something I didn't mention on the channel, on the fly sheet right here, just opposite where the door is, I spotted 5 small stretch marks or stress marks, but you can only see them when you held the fly sheet up against the light. So I hadn't spotted them for the first few pictures, but each one of these stress marks The fabric was really thin and it looked like it had potential to tear. So I emailed Terra over about it a week before the pole snapped. Told them I think it's a manufacturing fault. Can you inspect it and get it sorted? They didn't get back to me until after the pole snapped. So I told them about that as well. They said, right, send it back, we'll inspect it, we'll get it sorted. So a few weeks went by. During this period, I had 2 weeks booked off work to do a multi-day hike. I was planning to use this tent on our multi-day hike. I asked them how long it would be. They didn't get back to me, so I cancelled my 2 weeks holidays. So in the end, they got back to me and they offered to replace the poles and the warranty, and they would repair the tear in the pole sleeve that was caused by the pole snapping with a patch at the price of £36. And the stress marks I discovered there on the fly sheet a week before the pole snapping, they said they were probably caused by the poles rubbing on the fly sheet. I know that did not happen. So they offered to fix, let me just turn that back on. So they offered to repair the stress marks by covering them with a large patch that wouldn't be an exact match of the colour of the tent at the price of £78. So with handling fees and postage costs, it would have been a total of £121. It's a brand new tent. It's quite expensive, so I would have been out of pocket and I would have had the tent back covered in patches that don't even match the colour of the tent. So I wasn't happy about it, to say the least, and I sent them a big long email to let them know how unhappy I was. They pretty much got back to me straight away. I said they understand my frustration, and before I knew it, I had a new fly sheet and new poles in the tent. I nearly gave up on it. I did ask for a refund. They didn't even offer one, they just offered to send this back. But a few people have told me it's a great tent. I know it's a good tent, but I just had a rather negative experience. My first experience with tearing over wasn't a very good one, to be honest. There was a few more things that happened as well. But anyway, it's sorted now. There's hope, fingers crossed that things go well with it from now on. Guys, it is absolutely freezing. This is the coldest I've been this winter. My feet are like blocks of ice. It's that cold, and I put my water filter, my Sawyer squeeze, into this insulated bag, because if these freeze, they can become compromised and you're not going to know about it, and that's going to cause you problems when you're filtering water. So I'm going to get food on the go now. I've got a banging curry with me tonight. I made this about 5 weeks ago. I pulled it out of the freezer today and it's a coma. I was in the kitchen for about 3 hours making this one. It was a complicated curry, but it was worth the end result. Every time I make a curry, I make about 2 large pots of curry every week, and each pot of curry is enough to feed a platoon. So I've got plenty of curries on the go all the time. Right, let's stop waffling and get the stove on. I must have got my curries mixed up in the freezer. This isn't a coma. This is one I made a couple of weeks ago. This is potato, pea and paneer cheese. It's another good one anyway. Right, let's tuck in. My other head torch wasn't charged up. This is why I always bring 2 head torches with me. This is the Llyn Cau NU20. It's good for the short summer nights. This is popular with all the ultralighters, and the other one I've got is the Llyn Cau NU27. It usually sees me through these long winter nights. So I'm gonna have a little something sweet now, guys. Snickers have got this new bar out. It's a coffee flavour. If that's your thing and you see it on the shelf, give it a try. They're absolutely delicious. A little bit crunchy due to the temperature, but absolutely delicious. Real strong taste of coffee going on in them. I've had a walk around outside. It's a crystal clear night and the sky is full of stars. I haven't checked the forecast since early this morning, and when I last looked, we were meant to be having rain coming in the early hours. I feel a bit of wind picking up there now. I've got a bit of 5G. I'm going to check it again in a bit and see what's going on out there. What's the time now? 20 to 8, that's all it is. Feels like I've been here an entire night. And I tell you what I forgot to bring me. I was going to bring a book for tonight. I was going to kick back and read a book. Never mind, guess I'll have to have a whiskey instead. This is a Llyn Cau NU27. It's charged up now. It doesn't take long to charge at all. It's got a few different light features on here, including red light, same as the NU20. If you push these two buttons simultaneously, that will lock it to prevent it switching on accidentally in your backpack. Just push them again to unlock. I can't remember the battery life off the top of my head. That torch tilts back and forth from there. And it comes with this bag. So I keep both the torches in there. They're both pretty lightweight. Let me just pop this headband off. Switch it on to bright. Pop that there. Set that bag over it. Switch the video light off. And that doubles up as an ambient light for the tent. It's getting cold up there. I'm pretty sure it's trying to sleet. So I thought I'd batten down the hatches and get nice and cozy in the tent. Now just check the forecast. And it's saying temperatures are going to drop to -1 tonight, and this rain may be coming in pretty soon. So I thought we'd get nice and cozy in here and pour ourselves a wee dram in there. I have some Highland Park 12-year-old. So I haven't had Highland Park for 9 years, and I remember it well because it was on the Orkney Islands. And let's just say I'd earned myself a nice glass of whiskey. I'd gone in some bar, and they had 3 different bottles of Highland Park there, and they were expensive bottles. They were in these big wooden stands, and the one I tried, I can't remember which one it was £600 a bottle, and the small measure I had was quite expensive, but it was absolutely obviously a very good whiskey. So I doubt if this is going to be quite as nice, but we shall give it a pour and see if it's any good. This is quite an expensive bottle, to be honest. I bought it in Tesco, but I never pay full whack for whiskey because it's always on offer. I had this for a very good deal. And in here, I have some sweet treats that I made last night. Don't ask me where I got this idea from. You've seen me stuff peanut butter and cover my dates in dark chocolate and stuff. Last night, I cut these medjool dates open and I've stuffed them with Reese's dipped peanuts. And I've covered it. That chocolate there is a Toblerone. It's a caramel chocolate and honey and almond nuggets in there. I did try one last night. They're a little bit rich when you start off, but when you get into the centre and get into the peanuts, they're quite nice. Right. That's actually pretty good. Can you see the peanuts stuffed inside? Nose is okay. I really don't know what to make of that one. And I'll get back to you on that one when I finish the glass. I can hear voices going on out there. Who could that be at this time of night? That's what I've got to tell you. That guy that was running around bollock naked earlier, that was brilliant. I don't think they'd seen me because my tent's hidden by this big boulder. And when I arrived, I was down by the water. They weren't too far away from me. But I heard all this racket, and I popped my head up, and he was completely stark. I was running around in circles, screaming his head off, and they had a shock when they saw me. I should have filmed it and checked it on here for a crack. A crazy bastard, like. Yeah, not rating this whiskey at all. It's quite disappointing, to be honest. Never mind, at least it's something to warm my belly up on this cold night. These hand warmers are great little things, aren't they? Well, it's coming up to 10 o'clock. I'm very tired. Sun comes up at 20 to 8, which is a long time away. So I'm going to switch the camera off now and try and get some sleep. Hopefully I'll sleep for maybe 8, 9, 10 hours. But if you watch a channel, you know that's very unlikely to happen. There's a good chance if I go to sleep now at 10, I'm going to be awake at 3 in the morning. So we shall see how it goes. I'll catch you in the morning. Good morning. It's approximately 5 o'clock. I woke at 4:15, so I've had a good 5.5 hours sleep, which is good for me. We had a bit of rain overnight, nothing too bad. I can hear it picking away in a tent there. It's supposed to be turning bad around 6 o'clock, especially up on the summit. I'm toying with the idea of packing up and maybe walking to the summit, doing a climb in the dark. It's been a long drive to get up here, and I was a little bit disappointed I didn't get up there yesterday. So I'll have coffee and a bit of breakfast now, and I'll sit and think about it. Coffee always tastes better when you're out camping. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last night. The forecast was saying the temperature dropped on -1, and it most certainly felt like it was a cold one. I was okay when I was in the tent, in the sleeping bag. I was nice and snug, and I was warm for the night. But over the next week, they're saying that the temperature is going to be dropping, which is a good thing. I'm hoping we get a nice cold, crisp winter, and not another wet one like we've been having for the past few years. Gonna take his tent on quick before this rain comes in. Got a bit of icy slush there. It's absolutely freezing. I'm packing this kit away and I cannot feel my hands. There's a race against time as well. I can feel this rain coming in. It's not very often you see me wearing gloves, but I think I'm going to need them this morning. It's 20 to 7 and the sun starts coming up at 20 to 8. So by the time we get to the summit of Cadair Idris, it should be getting light. That's the first bit of ascent done. Take a look at this sky. Beautiful. But I'm looking up towards Cadair Idris and there's some rather dark, gloomy, ominous looking clouds sitting above it. So I don't know if we're going to see that sunrise when we reach the top. Right, let's get going. I've been so lucky with the weather. It's meant to be pissing it down right now. And we've got just enough light to see the mountains. And if we look down there, I don't know if you can see that. That's the lake I camped at last night, Llyn Cau. You can really feel the wind chill as we get closer to the summit, and a lot of the puddles are frozen over. I bet it was a cold one on top of here last night. I can't believe how lucky I've been at this weather. I was expecting to be doing this climb in ice cold rain, and that sunrise and these views, just beautiful. I bet my Scottish viewers are laughing at this feeble amount of snow we've got. I saw some photos yesterday and it looks like we've had some good snowfall on the mountains up there, but we just don't get it down south anymore, not like we used to. So we're going down and back up now, and then make a descent down there, and then we've got the final bit of ascent going up there to the summit, and there's a shelter on top. When we reach that, we'll have a little break, have some breakfast and a brew. The rain's just starting to come in and it was too good to be true, so we need to get to the top and get to our shelter. I would have been up there by now, but I've had to keep stopping to take in these views. It's absolutely stunning. Just look at that thin layer of mist shrouding those hills and mountains. Perfect timing, the weather's just starting to roll in. Let's get in this shelter and put the kettle on. It's pretty cold, but it's nice and cozy in here. And I'll let that boil, make a nice cup of coffee, and I've got a nice cheese sandwich and a mince pie. This shelter was originally built to serve refreshments. I don't know that much about it, to be honest, dates of when it was built. I need to do some research on it. But it's now used as a temporary shelter for hikers, and I've been caught on many a time on this summit by bad weather, and this shelter has saved me on each occasion. Well, the weather's changed. There's not much visibility out there, and we've got a bit of rain. It's nothing too bad, but those of you that know this mountain know that the descent is an absolute killer on the knees. Right, let's get going. I couldn't even film back there, the weather was so bad. It's not so bad now. I've made a bit of a descent. I'm out of the worst of it. But I haven't seen one single person this morning. I've got the mountain to myself. And I'm so glad I didn't climb that summit last night, because this morning I couldn't have asked for better conditions. When I did that ascent, it was beautiful. And that sunrise was amazing. And I'm enjoying this as well. I'm enjoying this bad weather. That's one long, hard descent. It gets me every time. Back up there, most of the descent used to be all scree and rock. It was an absolute nightmare to get down. When I was here last, 2 years ago, volunteers, it was still under construction, volunteers have built this path. It goes all the way to the top, and some of the stones, the size of the stones that they've used, just unbelievable. So a massive respect to them for giving up their time to build this. That's some back-breaking work they've put into it. That's me, almost back of the car. I absolutely love this one. Brilliant camp beautiful location, and I don't know if I mentioned it, but I climbed to the summit this morning. It was epic. I'd like to thank everyone that subscribes to the channel. A big thank you to my channel members, and thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. As always, if you have enjoyed it, could you please do us a favor and give it a thumbs up and maybe leave a comment. Catch you soon.